Hello. Hello.
What's up? Oh, that's fun. You can just check who's watching the live stream. That's fun as hell. Oh, or did he tell you?
They're live streaming it at Jersey Mike's.
They've just got it on.
They got a TV in the corner of the Jersey Mike's. They're putting it on.
That's hilarious.
They're all tuning in. That's hilarious.
Did you guys lose picks?
Lose picks?
Like you misplaced them?
Oh, every day. Yeah.
What is it about them? They're
I
like
don't know.
They're like little fairies.
I have so many of them.
Can
I
you
think
count down the 120 seconds for us? Yeah, so many. Can't see shit up here.
Nope. Sure can.
Dude, look at all my stuff. I have like 3.
You're packing. Yeah, that's a good way to be. You came prepared.
I don't know. No, I didn't. No.
This seems prepared to me.
You might want to unwind her mic then, though. I don't know. She might have enough play.
She's a pro. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this month's Songwriter Session. I'm super excited to be here. Big shout out to the Dubuque Area Arts Collective for hosting this event, as well as the Smokestack. For those of you who haven't seen one of these before or been a part of it, basically it's just an opportunity to get local songwriters in the same room and talking about the process of songwriting. As a musician myself, I find there are quite a few opportunities to present the outcome of the work of songwriting, but kind of digging deep on the process itself is really interesting to me. So this event is something that I do to learn more from these wonderful songwriters, and hopefully you get the same out of it. Today I've got Chad Olson with me, as well as Kristina Castaneda, two very good friends and very talented musicians. we're going to start today just by having these guys introduce themselves a little bit. So, Kristina, we'll start with you. If you want to just give us like musical influences, start from the very beginning. When did you start doing music or writing, or what got you into the business?
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like as a kid, I sang. Mom, you can testify to this. I sang all the time. She had to make a rule, no singing at the dinner table, because I think it's just how I process life. Musicals and plays and stuff growing up. But then I was bartending at the Silver Dollar, and a band canceled, and that was my push. The boss was like, hey, don't you and like your friends screw around like in the living room, like the college house, Yes, okay, so we got a show together in 24 hours, and that was it. That was about 27 years ago.
And was that as a vocalist or guitar?
Yeah, I was
or-
just singing.
Nice.
I've always written, just have until recently been sort of terrified to put out my own stuff. But I've probably been on 20 albums of other people. Mm-hmm. And just different incarnations, different bands, different whatevers. Sure, I'll play with you. But
Was the music that you started playing the same kind of music that you were listening to at the time, or did you grow up on a set of
Probably,
music and grow?
yeah. So I would say, great questions. I would say that, at the time in college, we were listening to a lot of Dylan and a lot of the Dead. And so that was reflected in the music. But I think, which is super fun, we're jamming. But I think the two influences that impacted me the most were, one, being in the balcony of the Holy Cross Church where my grandma played the organ, and I'd get to sit on her bench sometimes, and Grandpa was in the men's choir, and then there was a women's choir, and that's amazing. The harmonies, the sacred hymns, just the majesty of it all, that was really impactful. And then Dad's vinyl, just grew up on vinyl, laying on the carpeted living room floor, incense in the plant, Sunday morning, the spread of the vinyl artwork, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have any particular music education, or are you self-taught, or
Meh.
how have you kind of found your way through?
I mean, Suzuki method piano when I was little, and then just screwing around on piano as I got older, and screwing around on guitar as I got older. I don't know, nothing really formal. Right? I can't
Sure.
read music. I'm amazed at how people do that. So just how it feels and how it sounds.
Nice. Lovely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Chad, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Chad Olson. I originally from, Honolulu, Hawaii. Grew up in South Beloit, Illinois. And I don't know, I got my first guitar at 6 years old from my uncle, and got it out of a shed, essentially. This little crate amp was on the floor. It had 4 strings on it, and I actually taught myself how to play guitar with 4 strings. And I think about it a lot, especially now, because I had the same 4 strings on an electric guitar for over 4 years, never broke a single one, never put on a full six set of strings, didn't even know how to do it. And
Cute.
that's something that I'm kind of proud of, in a sense. I started on Metallica, so I was doing a lot of power chords and stuff. And that was just the start of it all, being able to sit in my room and jam to these songs and think that I always thought I was a rock star as a kid. I'd be jumping off the couch with my electric guitar plugged in, and it was just a really, really cool thing for me. And then when I moved to Iowa when I was 17, that's when I really got serious about music. I had a personal mishap by my own doing, and it caused me to kind of be stuck. So I turned to music, and I started booking shows, and I started playing in Makokura and Dubuque, Iowa, and going all around and building up confidence over time. And I mean, now it's like I've played in 8 different states in the U.S. of like my own original music, and that wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have forced myself to play on that 4-string electric guitar for all that time.
At what point did you kind of make the transition from wanting to jam the cool Metallica riffs to writing your own thing? Was that a pretty quick thing, or was that later?
I was 15, and I was going through puberty, and I had big feelings as a big boy and wrote words on paper of a love song, and my dad bought me a classical Yamaha CG4 Oma from Bob's pawn shop. Bobby's on Broadway in Rockford, Illinois, and I brought that with me to Iowa as well, and that was kind of what I first started writing music on. It was about 15, and just kind of inspired, started changing up what I listened to, because I went from a heavier sound to, I got introduced to like the Dead and Led Zeppelin, and then even more so just like straight up songwriters. Even to now, I mean, every day I'm learning of new musicians, new artists. I think that's really why I do it. There's so much. It's a sea of music out there. It's a beautiful thing.
Cool. Are you also in a position where you're primarily self-taught, or was there any formal instruction along the way for you?
No, I'm 100% self-taught, and that's like actually another thing that's kind of fun is I tried to like get books from like Barnes and Nobles and like open it up, and I just couldn't do it. I'd get to the first page and be like, nah, I can't. Like, I'm just going to go learn the basic chords and go off of what I enjoy, what I hear, what I truly love, because that's more authentic than doing the same riffs over, I guess.
Sure. Cool. The other question that I'll have for both of you then, quick, are there projects that you're working on currently or have just released, or groups that you're a part of? How are you active currently in music?
Woo. Yeah, so pushing, just bravely forging my solo stuff, just being on the stage, just me and an instrument. I also do sound baths. Do you know what I'm saying when I say sound baths?
Yes.
Do you people know?
But yeah, explain what is that?
It's you'd come and you'd lay down on a mat, maybe have a blanket, and I would be up here with this whole arsenal of sound instruments, different frequencies, like crystal bowls, maybe a harmonium. Oh my goodness, there's so many things. Tongue drums, like gongs, and then it's just to induce relaxation and meditative state, take your brainwaves somewhere else. So that's fun.
Sorry, I have never done something like
Yeah.
that. Does it scratch like a similar song? Does it feel like writing in the moment, or?
Yeah, it's all improv, you
Lovely.
know?
Okay,
it's
cool.
like, just feel like, what does the room need? Yeah,
Nice.
It's super intuitive. That's fun. And then I play with my friend Marcus de Jesus, and he is a classical Brazilian guitarist.
I took some lessons from Marcus for a little while in college.
He's such a honey. He's
Sorry
brilliant.
for that, Marcus.
No.
Should've showed up.
So that's fun because I get to sing in Spanish and Portuguese. I play with my friend Sean Healy a lot. He's a beautiful listener, spacious guitar player. And my friend Bob Bucko, we've got Arc Numbers going on, and Bob and I, we got the vinyl. It's in my house. We're working on that, so that should be coming up soon. And then, yeah, a reunion of an old band, started like rock band, like over 15 years ago. Alma Sub Rosa is happening next weekend. So just so much fun stuff. I was in a musical again last year, which was like the most wholesome fun I've ever had as an adult. So
Cool. Which one?
It was in Joseph.
Joseph?
And I played the same part I played in high school.
Wow.
Such a nerd. So awesome. So those are a few things.
Cool, lovely. Chad, what do you got going on right now?
Well, I am still going strong on like the solo, my one-man band stuff, playing sets all over. I also have a project with Skinny and the Shakes, which is a local original alt rock and roll band, and James is actually in that band, which is pretty cool. heavily focused on that. I'll actually be playing one of those songs tonight from the band as well. And some of my past credits, I guess, my first band ever was in 8th grade called Backseat Mosh Pit, and we did Red Hot Chili Pepper covers.
Oh my
We
God.
didn't really think, I had no influence on that name, but
sick.
that also kind of really started it for me. And then I was also in this band Wood Creeper that is and not at the moment is active, but hopefully they start up again in the future. But I was the bass player for that band as well. But yeah, my main focus right now is Skinny and the Shakes. We're actually opening for you on Saturday, which is really cool. We're playing
my God,
earlier
that's
in the day.
right.
Yeah, we're playing the same show. It's gonna be sweet.
Oh, so fun.
And yeah, just that's really the main focus for me. Is I kind of like eat, breathe, sleep Skinny and the Shakes, like songwriting and riffs, and just really I put about 90% of my energy into that and 10% into my own music, because I don't like to force my own music. I just let it kind of flow when it comes to me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, so for those of you not familiar with the format necessarily, how we're going to move forward now is we're going to start with Kristina, and she's just going to kind of tell us a little bit about the process of a song that she's written, either the process or the inspiration or whatever she feels like talking about. And then she's going to play it for us.
Yeah.
And then if anybody out there has any questions or thoughts or anything like that, there's this lovely wireless microphone that you just need to switch on. Afterwards, you can feel free to ask anything or add anything to the conversation here. Chad and I will be asking questions and all that good stuff too. But yeah, then Kristina will do a tune, and then Chad will do a tune, and then Kristina will do a tune, and then Chad will do a tune. It'll be a great old time.
Isn't this cool? Honestly, though, shout out to Dubuque Area Arts Collective housed here at the Smokestack, which this is part of, doing some amazing things for arts in the community. So honored to be here with all of you. And those of you watching and listening, right, there's a whole team here, Rick and Eldon and Dean and more. So, and you're a part of it. Okay, this song, Sing to the Night. Kind of, yeah, I don't know. Like, to be honest, I love this quote, inspiration strikes precisely at 9 in the morning. Okay, right, do you get it? Like, I know that discipline brings out products, but typically I'll just hear something and then it will strap me down, and the song's like, okay, I'm coming, and you're giving birth, and it just kind of comes out all at once. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't really like sit down and be like, I'm gonna write this song. It just writes itself through me, and this one came about at a time where I was trying to rouse someone into choosing to be part of the living again. Just someone going through some dark, can we swear on here?
Sure.
I caught myself, dark shit. And I was kind of like, I want to be a midwife to your reemergence into life. You can lead a horse to water, can't make them drink. So, and then it's also like kind of like, this is what I'm doing for you, with you. Let's go out and play. Let's go out and party. Life is beautiful, but also sometimes all I can do is just pray for you and hope that you sleep well tonight. Okay. Sing to the night. This much I know, you're beautiful, and I sing to the night that it might set you free. This much I know, you're beautiful, and I sing to the night that it might set you free. Speak up, speak out, like your life depends on it. And I pray to the light that you might sleep tonight. We know the way from here, 'cause we've been to hell and back. Come on, just play with me. Yeah, we've been here before. We've been here before. Woke up on the right side of the bed, and we paint the town black and white and red. Let me get back to my own dreams, and I find you inside, a sight for my sore eyes. We roll all night, yeah, we roll all night, yeah, 'cause we know the way from here, 'cause we've been to hell and back. Come on, just play with me. Yeah, we've been here before. We've been here before. Lies could only be swallowed if you're starving in the head. Come get fed, take your medicine, and climb into bed, and climb into bed. This much I know, you're beautiful. And I pray to the night that you might sleep tonight. We know the way from here, 'cause we've been to hell and back. Come on, just play with me. Yeah, we've been here before. Before. We've been here before, and I pray to the night that you might sleep tonight.
It's fantastic. Thank you. Your melodies are really beautiful, and they cover a lot of ground, which I think is really tricky to do. How long do you spend? Uh-oh. Everything's fine. How long do you spend like workshopping a melody once you get like a tune in your head, or does it, as you say, just kind of drop on you? And
It drops.
Okay, so
Boom.
it's just right there.
It's right there.
Cool. So I don't know, when I'm doing stuff like this, I'll record myself a million times and then tweak it or try to add harmonies or figure out different directions. Is there any of that in your process, or you just put it down and it's the way it is?
It's the way it is.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's just there. And then often if I try to change it, it's like, nope, it was it was born the way it wanted to be.
Sure.
So, yeah. I wish I could sing harmonies with myself because I'm hearing them as well, but
So like with a tune like that, as you're writing, are you visualizing it as like maybe a song that wants more to it, or are you writing it more to be just a tune with your voice and an instrument?
Oh, yeah. No, I hear lots of other tones and instruments in it for sure. For sure. And I feel like the refining, the revisioning, the editing process is usually me like cutting out, because I'll like want a song to be 9 minutes long. So I just cut it out, condense, and then shuffle like this part over here. So it's more like shuffling, but the melody is there and the melodies. And usually I feel like there's like three different core melodies. Okay, there's the bridge, but I feel like
bridge verse chorus, or are you?
I don't know. I always try to resist that.
Sure.
I like sometimes want to start in on what would be like a pre-chorus or a bridge or chorus, and then drop what would sound like a verse.
Sure.
Third or fourth.
You're inclined to mess with the traditional landscape
Yeah, the
of a song.
structure for
Yeah.
sure. I want to mess with it.
Sure. Very cool.
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it doesn't. Yeah.
When you write, I have a question. Sorry.
Okay.
When you're writing,
This is fun.
do you just do you have a guitar around you when you write songs, or do you like hum it, write down words, have the melody locked in your head?
Both, right? So if you look in my voice memos app, there's hundreds of seeds, is what I call them, seeds, right? And sometimes, most of the time, I won't go back and listen. But if I do, it's like, oh, this feels good. I'll pull that, and that matches up with this. But usually it's just, I don't even remember your question, Chad. It just comes out,
It
and
just
there it
sits
is.
there.
It's like
That's
comes
cool.
out.
That's
It's
really
a
cool.
stamp. There you go. Oh, do I have a guitar with some? Lately, yes.
Very nice.
But sometimes the melody will come, and then it's like, what is? Then if the melody comes first, then I'll get out the piano and fill in the layers underneath.
That's cool.
It's just so wild.
That's really cool.
Well, you work with so many other people too. Do you find it easier to get inspired when there's other folks involved, or do you find yourself doing most of your writing on your own individually?
On my own, but I sure do love when someone gives me something, and then they're like, what do you hear? Like, that's all my work with Bob, you know?
Right.
And what do you hear? And it's like, I hear this. Now, what do you hear? That's so fun. And I want to do more of that. I want to do more collaborating. It's because other people hear things I don't.
Right.
Yeah. Let's
Sweet.
do that.
Cool. Any thoughts from you folks? It's all right, Addison. There's plenty more chances. All right, Chad. Let's do it.
Alrighty. This song that I'm going to play is called Walter. I wrote this after I've only played it once. I've played it one time in my life, and it was like a year ago. And Kristina actually told me like you need to record this song, and then I just don't really play it ever. But this one's about a man who I met at the Alverno homes, who was just kind of losing his memory. And he was a beautiful soul, and he talked about his wife, Marge, and his wife has actually been dead for over 10 years, and but would just talk about her like she was just in the bathroom or stepping out of the room. And I just kind of caught inspiration from this guy, because I used to lay floors, and I just saw this guy for like 3 months. We were working on doing every single apartment room in the Alverno homes, and I just saw him for a while, and one day I didn't see him because he passed away, that's as life goes. And just recently had inspiration from him, because I haven't worked floors in over 5 years, and just out of the blue was like, that Walter guy, I've been thinking about him a lot, so I'm gonna write about him. And so this song is called Walter.
left home about 6 months ago. I can't seem to find my way. Life here ain't so easy, don't you know? Being cast out as a stray. And my old lady undoubtedly loves me the way I am. Love burns deep from her cherry smoke. I'm sleeping in as I'm coming down. I can't help when I'm feeling addiction outlasts my life. Anxious words always hit the ceiling. I'm not too sure if this is right. I've been getting things all wrong now. I can't tell my left from right. I can't reach my good old walker. So I guess right here I'll stay. Life for me, it doesn't want to slow down. I still try to eat 3 meals a day. Ooh. The kids call me on the phone now and then. They say they want to visit, but they can't stay. Haven't seen Marge in a few weeks. She found a new game to play. Probably out running errands again. Happy when it's a busy day. But woken up by a needle. Everything's alright. Heart rate, blood pressure, bleeding. Hope I see you tomorrow. Life for me, it doesn't want to slow down. I still try to eat 3 meals a day. The kids call me on the phone now and then. They say they want to visit, but they can't stay. I left home about 6 months ago. You could say I found my way. Life here is real easy, don't you know? Happy living and happy days. Thank you. Whew. Yeah.
Anybody want to start us off? All right,
That's
cool.
why I've only played that one once.
I'll go. So I'm familiar with the rest of your body of work, and this tune is pretty different tone than you usually take. Is that something that you try to stay cognizant of when you're writing, like the diversity of your overall set? or do you just kind of go with it?
I was really hoping you're going to ask this because when I wrote this, it was actually a country song. And I've been battling this idea of like, you know, what makes country country? What makes rock rock? Is it the voicing? Is it the instrumentation? Is it the melody lines? And when I first wrote that, it was very much, I left home about 6 months ago. And it was just like, you know, it didn't feel like a country song to me, so I just kind of changed it. And yeah, I was very mindful when I wrote this song because I didn't want it to just be another like kind of Chad Olson-y song. I wanted it to be impactful. I wanted it to have meaning and reason behind it, and something that like when I play it, I better have tears swelling in my eyes like at the end of the song. Like that's just how I feel every time I perform it, and if I didn't feel that way, then I wouldn't want to perform it in that sense, because that's just the impact it kind of has on me. When I wrote it, I was very strict on myself. I was very, very strict on myself. Just like, you're telling a man's story, like you better tell a man's story. And so it really changed the way that I wrote it. Cool. Especially with the coda at the end, yeah. Any questions?
Structure-wise, I guess, kind of a similar question. You've got a lot going on lyrically there. With a tune like this, do you go, all right, here I need 2 or 3 verses. I need a chorus that I do 3 times and a bridge, or is it you just write and then you put the words on the page and then you figure it out afterwards?
Yeah, I hum and just write down words. A lot of my stuff is actually poetry, which is really cool. Like one of my songs off my album Graduating Day called The Letter, it was a complete poem that wasn't meant to be a song, and then one day I just capoed my guitar like 6 frets up and started playing something, and it just kind of stuck. And this one was very much like I wrote a stanza and I was like, this is a story. The story goes until it's done. It wasn't really like verse, chorus, verse, chorus. It was like verse, 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 verse. Am I telling it? Okay, I'm done. Like it was more so like that. Yeah. I actually, when I was first writing this, I couldn't play it. I always cried like halfway through it, like a baby.
Yeah.
So I try. It's doing its job essentially. But yeah, this one's out of all my tunes, that one's probably my hardest song to play in terms of just emotional.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Sure. Right. So the question, just for the viewers on YouTube, is it harder to write like a happy song than it is a sad song, in the same way that actors can do comedy versus drama? Who wants to take it?
I can go first. I think it's a lot easier to write an upbeat song personally, just from my musical background. There are some people out there that might say it's the other way around, which is totally understandable.
That's me.
Yeah, because like you have amazing melody lines and runs, and it's like it's so natural to slow things down and just let it like shine. And for me, songwriting, like I'm in a rock band, so like I can play a 3-chord banger all day and just write some words to it and just sign it, done, next one. And yeah, this song took me 6 months to write, and I'm one session writer. I like sit down for 2 hours, I write my 3 songs, and then I don't play them for 4 months and come back to them. Mm-hmm. And that's that's just the way she goes. How about you? Yeah,
no, I want every song to be sad and slow. Like I just have an affinity. I want all this. It's so fun to play with Sean, because Sean's like we've been at places and people, but can't you play like a faster music? We're like, we're not a dance band. Because if it was up to us, like when I'd play that outfit, it's like all the songs would be just sad and slow. And that's why I need all of it. Like being in a rock band where I get to high kick and like belt, and like that's so fun. And to me, that's like really therapeutic and balancing, like, is to be just loud rock band, because it's not my natural thing. It's totally me, but it's like, yeah, when I'm at home alone looking at like the birds and the sunlight, that inspires me. Like, it's sad and pretty and slow.
Cool. Any
We would be amazing collaborators then, because the yin and the
scoop of
yang.
each,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that the Beatles were known for is that when they committed a song to be one tempo, and George Martin, the producer, would say, I hear that tempo a little differently, and they would speak to the songs. Have you ever attempted to do that with some of your material, where you try to find
Yeah.
exactly where it should lie, tempo-wise?
So, like, yeah, the idea of
Yeah.
taking a song at a certain tempo and then either speeding it up or slowing it down based, like, tone after you write it, kind of getting some perspective and coming back to it and making tweaks like that. Does that happen often for you guys?
All the time.
Yeah.
All
Same.
the time. Walter was slower than what I just played it. It was very slow when I first played it, and yeah, always, I always speed it up.
Yeah, same. I
Likewise?
mean, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Trying to mess it up.
Do you ever, kind of bouncing off that, do you ever take, like, a sad song and then
Yes.
put a bunch of happy, upbeat stuff behind it, and that ends up feeling more right than the sad on sad? How often does that kind of thing happen for you?
My next song is that it is a sad song that is very upbeat and like high tempo. I love doing that. I love taking something that's sad and making it sound happy. There's this band called Two Door Cinema Club that writes a lot of really sad music that's like disco funk pop music, but it's just
I love that.
overall the words and the lyrics are all sad, and I dig that. I'm into that.
Yeah, and like that's one reason I love like bluegrass and like Appalachian music and stuff, and like fucking blues and jazz. Like, just it's like sad, but the
Contains
frenzy and the
multitudes.
music, the big energy, but give me and like, you know, murder ballads and stuff. Like, I love the contrast. I love the juxtaposition. That's a great
Cool.
question.
Lovely. All right, Kristina.
Oh,
Let's do it. Oh, no question? Addison, let it go. Yeah, what's up?
So this is kind of bouncing off of something that Kristina said. When you guys are writing a song, so I don't know, with me, I've got a lot of long songs, and I think actually, like, I have to cut stuff out. So it's kind of a couple questions. So, like, what kind of stuff do you guys usually first of all, do you see yourself cutting stuff out a lot? What types of stuff do you cut out, and why do you cut it out?
sometimes parts that I cut out will go on to be another song. You're over here now.
I have issues with repetitive words sometimes. So I'm like, I get really anxious about it, and then I'll rip out a whole verse and rewrite a whole verse and act like it never existed. Do it a lot with the Shakes too. Do that a lot with a lot of their lyrics. Yeah.
Thanks, Addison.
You want long songs too? Well, you listen to, I mean, some music that is 18-minute songs. This one, I feel like, I remember I told Bob one time, I'm like, sorry guys, all my lyrics are about like nature and death and sex, and that's like, and birth. That's like, they just kind of are. This one, a girlfriend was talking about red-winged blackbirds and how she always gets attacked by them, but she loves their song. And so that was a seed of a thought that I could relate to breakups. Okay. And then maybe finding your way back to the person that you divorced. Someone want to say something cool?
Oh, I'm not good at that, unfortunately. That is my job, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's cool. Thank you guys for coming out, for the people that are in the room, the people that are online right now and supporting this. It's really, really awesome event. Thank you, James. You do a pretty swell job at hosting this event.
Thanks, partner.
Chad approved. So yeah, thank you all. Thank you. Thanks, Rick. Dean.
Aw, Rick
Thanks,
up
team.
there, little sweetheart. And man, I sure do love a waltz. When I am ready is when I'll be ready. You say take your time, and I do. Might take a long time to get you off of my mind. Meanwhile, I'll be here doing my voodoo. Swung by the other day to pick up some clothes. The nosy neighbors were peeking out of their window. I said, come out here, Chuck and Debbie, give me a proper hello. Said, where you been, girl? Your car's not in the driveway anymore. But those birds that sing with the red wings, they will attack you. Those blackbirds, but there's just something about that song. So I get close, there's just something about that song. And I get so close, those harbingers of spring, blackbirds with red wings. They sing, wake up, wake up, wake up from your winter slumber. 'Cause it's spring and I think how the days are getting longer, weather's getting warmer, so I better get my shit together. But when I am ready is when I'll be ready. You say take your sweet ass time, and I sure do. 'Cause it's taking a long time to get you out of my mind. Meanwhile, I'll just be here doing my voodoo. I asked the bartender for some prayers. I asked the river and the trees and Grandma too. I've been to the graveyard and I howled at the moon. Been driving around blinking a light, looking for you. Those birds that sing with the red wings, they will attack you. Those blackbirds, but there's just something about their song. So I get close, there's just something about that song. And I get so close, those harbingers of spring, blackbirds with red wings. They sing, wake up, wake up, wake up from your winter slumber. 'Cause it's spring and I think how since the days are getting longer, weather's getting warmer, that I best be getting my shit together. And so now I am ready, yes, I'm finally ready. You said take your time, and for that I thank you. 'Cause it took a long time get you out of my mind. And now I'm coming back home to you.
Beautiful. Personally, I was catching a strong whiff of kind of like outlaw country from that as well. Are there any influences in particular that might have caused you to go there?
Not consciously, but
That's cool.
but
yeah.
it started to happen.
Sure.
I love that, the outlaw country, and then I'm like, oh, this is happening.
Yeah, that waltzy thing leans into that sound for sure. And then you kind of take a tonal shift to more of a jazzy inspired thing there. Is that a conscious choice, or did that just kind of feel right? Were you trying to like mesh two sounds like that together, or?
So, like I said, I love contrast, and I'm not like trying, but I'm trying. Like the writing will go there, and then I'm like, oh yes, that makes sense. This is different. Good, cool. I like it. Like in the last song, I put the 3/3 time just for the bridge. Like I love that, but I don't mean. I'm not trying really hard. It just does that. When I was in college, I was in. I think I lived in like the 20s or 30s or 40s, and I think I was a jazz singer. I think I was, because I love it so much. It's my favorite. It's the playground, and nobody introduced me to it until I was in college, and I was in a musical called the 1920s Radio Hour, and I was like, oh my God, this world is just a playground for vocals, right? And the intervals, and like, I just fell in love. And more, I just love brass. And no, I don't play it, but like, yeah.
Did you play brass at one point?
No.
Oh, okay. You just really
But
like
maybe
it.
I
Yeah.
did when I was alive
Got
in
you.
the 20s and 30s
Yeah,
and 40s.
yeah. Cool. Yeah, Edison?
Did your wardrobe choice today, was that because you were going to play that song?
No. No.
Addison is making a joke, everybody.
Oh my gosh, I love that you picked that up. Maybe somewhere in there. Yeah. Yeah. Those birds are pretty though.
They sure are. Yeah, time signature stuff, kind of back to that as well. How often do you find that you throw either changes in time signature or just not writing in 4/4 helps you, achieve that creativity that you're always talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like I don't start out conscious about that, but then that is one thing I try to tweak a little bit later. And like, man, I also want to play the drums. I don't, but I'm thinking about it.
Right.
And more want to like play more percussively. I don't know.
Sure. Well, a rhythmic element, especially, that would make sense given your melodies are so well developed and stuff. Adding like a rhythmic,
That's so nice of you.
Well,
Cool.
yeah, that's just Any other thoughts from you or anybody else? Lovely.
That was a cool song.
Yeah,
That was
very
cool.
very beautiful tune.
I don't feel like they're like. I just feel like they're kind of weird. Like it's not like they would be. Someone was like, because I have played songs that other people are like radio-friendly songs, and these I just feel like, no, they're not for that. But I can't help, you can't help. Something has to come out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're listening to it? That was never the intention.
Right, and
Like this was honestly never the intention.
the lyrics in that tune are really striking. The kind of raw, but like just the way you phrase things in the beginning, that very first verse, it grabs your attention in a way that it doesn't feel like a song for the radio, and I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
This is a journal,
Yeah.
a diary.
Right.
Have like specific influences for your lyrics, maybe that
No, but just like obsessed with poetry. Like, yeah. Lyrics are so important. They're so important. And some people are like, I don't know what lyrics, they can write the music. I don't know. I have a lot of friends who are like, I'll write the music. I don't know what words to write. I'm like, seriously? Mm-hmm. Like, it's awesome how we're all so different. But to me, I'm just like, I can't. So I feel like a good challenge would be just to like gibberish, nonsense in a song. Like, this makes no sense to me. I think that would be a healthy practice for me because I get so serious about it.
Cool. Yeah.
Chad, yeah, let's do it.
All right. This next tune is a tune that I wrote while I was actually living with James. I wrote this for originally myself for my solo project before Skinny and the Shakes was even really a band, I guess. And I introduced it to the band, and they were all really about it. And it's kind of turned into like our go-to just song to play when we don't know what to play.
Nice.
But this song was written about. What?
I don't know what song it's gonna be.
So this song, it's No Name.
Oh, okay.
This song's called No Name. It was written about one of the band members, and I'm not gonna say any names, but he was going through a hard time, and I put my own personal feels into this song, and then I took his story of what's going on with him and powered it into it as well. And yeah, this is just one of my favorite songs to play. The song's called No Name.
Need to give some honesty in a glass of red wine. These feelings that wash over me has me spiraling all the time. Yeah, I can help myself, let alone help you, which is why I'm always walking away from you. It wasn't always like this. We used to get along just fine. Lately it's been one-sided, and our things taking or dying. Yeah, I can help but go back to old habits. Who can't help but yell? The hardest decisions in life feel like walking through hell. Sitting alone, 6 drinks in, confused and stuck again. I'm lost in my own head. Sorrow washes through. Yeah, I can help myself, let alone help you, which is why I'm always thinking of you. It wasn't always like this. We used to get along just fine. lately it's been one-sided, and our things taking a dive. Yeah, I can't help but go back to old habits. Who can't help but the hardest decisions in life feel like walking through hell. Thank you. Thank you. You got any questions? That one?
Yeah, plenty. Does anybody else have any thoughts quick before I get started? Lovely. When you're writing, do you usually song like that? You've got like licks everywhere in the guitar part. Do you start with your guitar or your vocal work there? Like, do you have the melody idea and then you flesh out the concept for the tune, or do you have a lick that you like and then you go, oh, this would work with this?
I grab a lick that I like and I go, oh, that's cool. Kind of like a lot of the Shake songs, specifically for like the Shakes tunes, I try to write lyrically based on how the instrument, like the instruments are, the instrumentation. Yeah. And so like an upbeat song like that was where it was just kind of, I had that stuck in my head, the guitar part, just over and over again, that like choppy type playing. And then I got so bored with just playing the two chords that I started adding these really dumb riffs over top of it. So as some guitar players call it, overplaying. And I like just stuck with it, and I was like, I'm gonna write words over this and just try. I was challenging myself with that song. I was like, I'm gonna try to write a song where I am like out of breath by the end of it. And over time, it's become like a very easy song for me to play. But yeah, those licks are just like those are my warm up shapes essentially. And a lot of the songs I write are my warm up esque things that I just play.
Do you find yourself like trying to work in a do you ever back off with the licks to give the vocal space, or do you like playing with like a complex vocal married with like complex licks?
All depends on the song,
sure,
and how it should sound. I don't like using the term should with this, but
don't shit on yourself.
Like you just kind of have this like idea of what your song is going to sound like. Kind of like earlier, Kristina was saying that she could hear the harmonies like while writing her songs. Like it's very similar. Of like, I know what's expected of this part. I know where I can play hard, and I know where my bandmates can come in and really showcase what they're doing in the song, whether it be like a breakdown or a bridge section, drum fills. Spots where I just like take the guitar out and let keyboard and bass play together, because that's always really fun when they don't expect it. That's like the best time to do it. And I'm just yeah, it just all depends on the song. All depends on how it feels, because by the time I'm done with the lick, like playing it, I already have an idea of where the song's gonna go.
Sure. With a tune like that, I mean, clearly you said you started by learning Metallica riffs and stuff, so you play a lot of electric. Do you find yourself writing more on acoustic or writing more on electric?
I write exclusively on my acoustic guitar. I had like I said earlier, I had that classical guitar growing up, and I didn't know that there was a difference between classical guitars and like, you know, your standard acoustic guitars. And so I was playing Metallica riffs on a classical with like 1-inch spacing on the neck.
Oh, you were playing Metallica on acoustic.
Yeah, I was doing it on the acoustic, and like that's kind of like where I'm at now musically. Like there is not a single Shake song that we have that I can't play it on the acoustic like that. Even the guitar solos, I write all my guitar solos on an acoustic guitar because I truly believe that when you make the jump from an acoustic to an electric, you are going to be blown away just by how it sounds because of how good the electronics can make you sound at this
It's
point.
like wearing ankle weights.
Yeah, it is. I almost feel like in Naruto he takes off his weights when
Yeah.
and I'm just like, yeah, dude.
Rock Lee, bro.
Yep. So I write all my stuff on acoustic.
Cool.
All of it. Even like Gaslight, I wrote that. Just the Way She Goes, all of it was on an acoustic.
Is that because that is what feels best for you, or is that because like in your most comfortable, like in your comfortable setting at home, that's what you have and that's how you like writing?
If I can make it sound good and on an acoustic, and I can feel my intonation on an acoustic, I know that when I pick up an electric, it's going to be just remarkable. Like if I'm writing an electric song like for a band, and that's kind of just
I love that.
the process with it. I just always know that it's going to sound better. I mean, it doesn't. It's I can take any Shakes tune, play it on an acoustic, and then already have an idea of what it's going to sound like with all my 4 pedals on at the same time. And every time I do it, I'm still blown away. Just like, oh man, that's my tone. Like that's my signature sound at this point that I've just like kept. And it all started with the acoustic, and also accessibility. You did say that before. This is something that's like always on me. I went to Hawaii, brought my guitar, I'd go to the bathroom, bring a guitar. It's just
Back real quick to your pedals. What are the 4 pedals? Pedals, for those of you that don't know, for an electric guitarist, pedals it's like your effects board, so you can switch up the way your guitar sounds. What are the 4 that you use?
I always have a blues distortion on. I have Stevie Ray Vaughan's Pride of Texas pedal. That's my baby. I have a Nano Overdrive. I have a kick and reverb pedal. That's almost always on. Then I have a phaser pedal. That's almost always on as well. If we'll be recording an album within the next year, and a lot of my guitar tone is going to have similar sounds, just in terms of the rhythm parts, just because of that's my base. That's the bottom of my house. That's my structure. It's like home. You know, I want to make sure when I turn my amp on, it's like the same every time. So that's like my home sounds. And you tweak one thing, and then you just start to kind of go on this like downward spiral. So I like to not touch it ever. Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah, Addison?
So, since I've been here, I've heard a couple of songs based on the people that you've interacted with. So, like, besides, I guess, like, how much of your music stems from the influence that those around you have versus what you maybe influenced otherwise? If that makes sense.
I thought the same thing. That was my same question.
The question being, how often do you find yourself writing about like other people that have influenced you, as opposed to coming from more of a personal place?
Yeah.
I like to put I like to take inspiration from others. Like I like to people watch. It's gonna be crazy, but I'm kind of introverted. So like when I'm out in public places, I don't talk to anyone. And I like to just scan the room and like see what's happening around me. And I have like really bad ADHD too, it's double whammy. And a lot of times it's just I hear people's conversations in front of me, behind me, and then I have my tinnitus going at the same time, and it's a whole lot. And I usually take the inspiration from others, and I use my own personal emotions to kind of like push the song a little further, like just to give it that little, pat on the back to get going.
Cool. Any other thoughts? Sweet. Kristina, you ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's do it.
Okay, this is the first song I ever let anyone else hear, and I gave it to Bob and Sean. And when we were doing Alma, like 18, I don't know, a long time ago.
Bob being Bob Bucko Jr.,
yeah, Bob
who
Bucko
has
Jr.
previously been on this show. Check out that
Yeah,
episode.
March, right? Was he March?
Yeah, I think so.
March with Addison.
He's
Yeah.
such a honey.
That's a good one.
Guy is genius. Yeah. And it's funny because I don't write about relationships really anymore. That last one was one. I mean, like romantic relationships and stuff. But this one is. It is a mashup of about 3 different boyfriends.
Nice.
How
Yeah. I have
long?
a 21-year-old, and I feel like this is like my, my 20-something song, and I'm 47. What?
How long ago did you accumulate this song?
How long?
If you don't mind my asking.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, about 18 years ago.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And it's called Good Night Sleep. Sleep, I think, is like a theme too for me. And it's a waltz. Y'all are so kind. Thanks for being here. Really. I guess we've come to the end of... Oh, this is an Alma song. You'll hear it Saturday. A warm season of touching the terrain of your skin, an impulse responding to a stain. I miss your sister. I miss your niece, the princess, and your sparkling blue eyes are brighter when you hold her like a spring prayer. I need a good night's sleep. I need a good night's sleep. What if I showed up at your doorstep? Would you welcome me into your arms? Would you beckon me to stay as I walk away? Once I realize that it's all just a big fucking mistake. Tell me though, before I go, do I kiss you good? Do your eyes see you while they're closed? Oh, 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 oh. Tell me though, before I go, do I kiss you good? Do your eyes see while they're closed? We never danced, so forgive me with this waltz. With this waltz, your last chance to forgive me for not thinking of you. I was not thinking of you, no. I was not thinking of you. I was not thinking of you. Now I'm not thinking of you, no. I'm not thinking of you, no. I'm forgetting how it felt to love you. I'm forgetting how it felt, forgetting. Now I'm not thinking of you. No, I'm not thinking of you. I'm forgetting how it felt and who I was when I loved you. I need good night's sleep. I need a good night's sleep. Oh. Maybe you do too.
That was cool.
Yeah. What a finale. Lovely.
That was beautiful. That was a beautiful song.
Yeah.
I like it.
So
Thanks, boyfriends.
you're really, you say that your melodies often just kind of come and then that's what they are. The chord changes you use in that tune were really interesting to me in a couple moments in particular. Once you have that melody figured out, you know, how quickly do those chord changes come right behind it, or do they happen at the same time for you?
Yep. Same time.
Same time.
Yeah, I feel like that's always my answer. It all just comes out. Plop.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely.
But it's just what I hear. It's led
nice.
by the voice.
It's like magic.
Wow.
Yeah, the only other thing really then, how much of that, you know, again, you credit a lot of your music to collaboration. How much do you think working with other musicians and artists makes that writing process easy for you? Like, do you think it's maybe accumulation of the things that you've heard from others, or?
I think it has to be in some level. Like when, like you're like, I listen to other people, right? Artists, and I think, is it crows or ravens or something? Like they see sparkly things and they steal them and they take them.
Crows.
I think part of being an artist is you can't help but stuff that moves you imprints, right? We all have influences. But to be honest, like I don't listen to music. And I'm sure that people I've worked with and the things like sink in and creep in, but I rarely put music on. Like ever.
Would you
It's
say
so
that?
weird. So I don't know. So I guess just all of the sounds of everywhere inform what's happening. I don't know.
Do you think that you do like more of that voice memo writing kind of thing that you were talking about than you do listening to music? Would you say that you write
Absolute-
more than you listen to?
Yes.
Cool. Interesting.
Yep. It's like it's so loud in here that it's entertaining, and I like listen to podcasts a lot.
Nice.
I rarely listen to music. I don't know.
Sure.
But when other people give me stuff, I'll so deeply drop in, and I love it, and I'll do it for a little bit, but then I just need quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Any other thoughts? Questions for Kristina? Cool. Chad, let's do it to it.
All right. This last one that I'm going to play is off of my first solo album called Graduating Day. This album was released, it's called Graduating Day because it was the day that my brother actually graduated from boot camp in the Air Force. And I was down south visiting him in Texas with my family. And the day that I got to finally see him, and you know he was gone for like a month or whatever, I was releasing this album. So like not only was it like celebration that I got to see my brother, he was out of boot camp, but it was like, yo, dude, I just released an album of all these songs that I've written that you have jammed with me on for like 5 years. And yeah, this song is the last song off the album. It's called Daisies. I wrote this for a beautiful woman named Ashley, who now bears my child. So I'd like to say that
Is she here?
this song worked. Yeah, she's right over there, my little baby. And I also really want to play this song because my daughter, Evangeline, over here on the front of the stage, we got her an Alexa for Christmas, and her favorite thing to do now is Alexa, play My Daddy, Chad Olson, daisies, and it's like every day I walk by a room and there's like daisies playing, and so yeah, she probably knows all these words. Song's called Daisies.
Calamity of the situation has me feeling some hesitation about the way that you deal. No one can really say any different. The words in the mic that I am spitting, it's just the way that I feel. Looking for final resolution or a way out of this institution, just the final deal. And it's a simple kind of feeling I have about you. Is it just me or the drink in my hand? Life is swirling like a tornado of lost souls in the night. Oh, what a night. The daisies has me feeling a little lazy from the haze in my room. And people laugh while others cry, hide the truth of the rug will lie, bending on the rules. Sitting quietly with jokes in my head, thoughts of you before the bed, quiet sleep consumed. And it's a simple kind of feeling I have about you. Is it just me or the drink in my hand? Life is swirling like a tornado of lost souls in the night. Oh, what a night. It's a simple kind of feeling I have about you. Is it just me or the drink in my hand? Life is swirling like a tornado, lost souls in the night. Oh, what a night.
Well, thank you. Good job, Evie.
Gorgeous. So you wrote that one before we had the band, right?
Yeah.
Was that one that you had imagined more happening on than you and a guitar, or was that one that
When I wrote that, I actually heard it was just acoustic and upright bass and a grand piano in my head, and I was envisioning myself in like a tuxedo with a red tie walking into this pearly white room and just like grabbing this woman by the hand and twirling her around and
wow,
being like, "Hello, I'm Rigo Suave," and yeah, that sort of thing.
that's what was happening?
Yeah,
your
in my head
for
when I wrote that, I
too.
was actually, I was like a bottle of like red wine in when I wrote that song, and I was like, yeah, I used to video chat her all the time because we lived an hour away, and I would just find myself playing guitar on a video call almost every night, and then I wrote that song, and yeah, and now I have stepchildren, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
So I know also you have a lot of tunes, and often you've got a lot happening lyrically in all these songs and in the guitar. What is practice like for you, especially as a solo gigging musician as well? What does practice look like to get, all of those tunes down how you need them to be?
I don't practice at all. I don't pick up my guitar ever. It's really hard for me, especially like being a dad to so many littles, and like I have a 5-month-old, and then ages all the way up to 10, and it makes it really tough to practice or just even have the energy to. The one thing I always try to do, I watch. It's weird, but I watch a lot of our band's videos. So like I watch old videos of myself, and I watch band videos, and that's actually what gets me just to write the songs. And sometimes I'll write songs and not play it, and just like have an idea, and then show up at practice and be like, yeah, I thought of this, and it's literally me putting it from paper to my guitar, of what I thought of, and there's just so many times where. There's times where I wish I could play more, but to be completely honest, I don't practice ever. I don't at all.
That's cool. So you do, like, if you were to split it into a pie chart, you do way more writing than you do actually like working on the tunes.
I write constantly. The voice memo thing. Sometimes like I'll beatbox like drum parts, and then like hum like the bass line, and then sing some words over it, and just try to make it. I'll do it all by voice memo. I'll like make the whole song by just using my mouth, and then not play it. And then once I get to my guitar, I'll be like, oh, like Gaslight. I wrote that by humming it one day and tapping my foot in a doctor's office, going dun 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 da 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 da. And then I picked up a guitar and I played it, and I was like, that sounds cool. And so I don't get to practice enough. Wish I could practice more. If I did, I would be exponentially better.
But you feel like you're still like able, that it still works for you. Like you can go play a gig right now, and
absolutely, I could go out and play a gig, and it's not a problem. And I think that's just because like before I had kids, I would play guitar for 6 hours a day. I wouldn't play video games. I didn't even like drink that much. So it was like I would get drunk playing my music. Like I would just get so into it that I would look up at the clock and I'd be like 25 or 6 to 4. And it was like one of those things where I only wanted to play guitar. And that's what I did for so long. And now I'm to the point where it's really hard for me. But with all that time of doing it, I think that's the only reason I'm able to just call any venue and be like, I can play a show, or I can play an hour and a half original music, or 4 hours of covers if you want. I'll even play your Freebird, and like that's okay for me. I enjoy it. I use my cheat sheet too, which is my phone, my catalog, and wish I could do it more. Wish I could practice more.
Yes.
You'll get there.
I've kind of the same question for Kristina. You talk about voice memos, but maybe they don't make it to today when you're writing, right? So something has to happen kind of now. I'm just writing today or something's
Right.
actually finish this. Then what happens after that? You've written it, and now what? Where does it go? What do you rehearse it? Do you work it out? Does it just become an outfit for the day, and maybe you put that outfit on later, and maybe you don't? Or how do you decide?
For me, things need to sit for a while. Do I still like it? A week later, 3 months later, like, do I still like it? Does it still resonate? And most of them don't. Yep. Or then there's, again, like, I'll splice out a little. I like that little part. Splice it out, put it over here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
So
Does it make the cut always right away? I don't.
the revision process for you is
Let it sit and
right. Let it
fester.
simmer for a minute, and then see how you're feeling, and then you kind of take what you like from it, or if you like the whole thing, you
Yeah.
do you invest more in it at that point then, or
No, because they're usually just done, right? Like they come and they're done. This is the little package, but yeah, most of them I don't like later.
there you go.
I don't like it.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you have one that you like and you're gonna keep it,
Yeah.
is there a rehearsal process? Is there or is it just it's already alive and it
Yeah, then they start to take on a body of their a life of their own, and then you start to get a relationship with it. Like each time you play it, it's a little different, and then you make this contract with the living, breathing song. You're like, okay, we're gonna get to know each other over the time, and suddenly I feel like I'm gonna play you a little faster. Suddenly I'm gonna cut that out. Yeah, it's like dating, courting this song for a while. I like you enough. We'll see where you end up if you make it. So, yeah, it's such a living, breathing relationship. Super sacred to me. Like it's super sacred. It's like, where does this stuff come from? I don't know. I didn't do that. Rumi, who speaks words with my mouth? I don't know. Who thinks these thoughts? I don't know.
Any other thoughts or questions for us this evening? Yeah.
Have you ever written a song when you consciously figured out what the hook was and only did it once?
Say that again?
In some songs when I was growing up, I'd hear one really amazing, either little piece of the way it sounded, the way he sang a particular verse, or they did just one thing that made you kind of startled, and they didn't do it again.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Hear that spark.
Oh, I love that so much when people do that.
Do you guys have any moments of that in your song?
That happens for a lot of live performances.
Yeah.
Almost all of them. There's a moment. I mean, I go on a rant about this guy here. He played an insane keyboard solo for the song Daisies, the one that I just did at Driftmore. And there were parts to it where we never once heard him play it like that in rehearsal.
Yeah.
And then it was just the day of the event, and he just pulled this thing out of nowhere, and it was I messed up hearing it because I was like, whoa, I wasn't ready for that. I mean, it happens with our drummer. He loves to overplay fills. It happens to our bassist. He loves to overplay slap bass. And then we're all just a bunch of overplaying fun guys. And it happens to us live a lot.
You caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like when we created that breakdown. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks a bunch for coming out, everybody. This has been a great time. Thank you to Chad. Thank you to Kristina. Thank you to the Smokestack. Let's give everybody another round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, Kristina.
Chad and Kristina, do you have music out anywhere that people should go check out or look you up or follow you on anything?
Check out Graduating Day on any streaming platform by Chad Olson. That is my whole first original album. If you'd like to hear some heavier stuff that I was a part of, you can look up Wood Creeper, Mephisto's Kite, which is a full-length album I released, or just Wood Creeper Volume 1, which is another album I released with them as well. And yeah, I think that's it. Follow Skinny and the Shakes. That's about it. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, my website has, under shows and songs, has that info, and Instagram I try to keep pretty current of what's happening.
What's your website?
Kristina Marie Castaneda. Is that what it is? .com, something like that. It's my
We'll
name.
figure it out.
It's my name.
Lovely. Alrighty. Well, thanks again, everybody, for coming
Thank you,
out. Get home
James.
safe. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you
Peace
all.
out.
Yeah.